like a craft beer through a pint glass. These are the gays of our lives. A show where Lisa and Avery get out their gay decoder rings to decipher the gay alphabet and bridge the gap between the older and younger LGBTQ community and everyone fucking else. And now here are your hosts, Lisa and Avery. Don't blame them.
Hi guys, it's Lisa.
And Avery.
And today on The Gays of Our Lives, we have a very special guest. We've got Piyah and Andrew. You may have heard of Piyah because she was on RuPaul's Drag Race.
So, Piyah, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for bringing your husband, because we love having families together. So I guess, my first question is really like, how did you end up really on RuPaul's Drag Race? Like, step one from where you started to there, like, what was that journey like?
Right. So how I ended up on RuPaul's Drag Race, basically, before being on the show, I would always perform on my laptop and do cool little dance videos or just perform just being extravagant. And so I was under management at the time when I was 17. And he basically reached out to their team. And after that, I just ended up on the show because I would always do his songs, like lip syncing and whatever. And so it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I guess he noticed it. And then, yeah.
So, you're a trans woman, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you realize you were born in the wrong body? Or when did it really sink in?
Honestly, it started when basically I've always known. I've always gravitated towards female things, like the female toys and like Barbies and just feminine things. So I've always known ever since maybe about the earliest years of me being an adolescent, very young.
Wow. That is young. Wow. How were your parents and stuff about it? Were they accepting?
I'm sorry?
How were your parents and things? Were they accepting?
Well, to be honest, no, because they would always tell me, no, you can't play with this. You have to play with the car, the toy truck, or the Ninja Turtles, or just more male-y things. And I wouldn't like it. I would throw temper tantrums because it wasn't right. It didn't feel right, you know. And the fact that my parents were always trying to gravitate me in that, I wouldn't accept that. So, but then later on in life, they gravitated, which they accepted me for me, and later on, they just experienced a more understanding of who I am.
What age did you actually transition?
Oh, how long was it?
When did
I?
How old?
Oh, I was 15 years old when I started dressing the right way, as in portraying my life as a woman, and I was 15 years old when I first started. Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome.
That's good though that you were able to do that at that age instead of waiting so late in life like a lot of people.
Yes, right.
That's amazing. So you were born with a disease, and I don't know if I can say the name properly, so I want you to say it.
Oh, my name?
No, your legs, your foundation, and the disease that you have.
Oh, it's called caudal regression syndrome.
How rare is that? Is it pretty rare?
About 12,000 births, basically one in a million.
Wow.
Yes. It's funny because during this finding out about what I've had, at first it was called spinal bifida.
Oh, yeah.
But when I started, because I went to an adolescent hospital, and it was called Shriners Hospitals. They did diagnostic tests and all kinds of things to figure out what I've had, and they thought it was just spinal bifida. But then they found out that it was called CRS, which is called caudal regression syndrome.
Never had heard of it until I started watching you and stuff. I had never heard of or seen that before.
Right. It's great because honestly, ever since I started making these videos, I've started having parents actually reach out to me because their child has the same birth defect. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing because, you don't meet a lot of people that have the same birth defect as I do. So it's nice.
You've probably
Try to stay out
reached
the sun, get in the
Yeah,
shade.
maybe.
you've probably reached out and been able to help a lot of people, not just trans or gays, but disabled.
Oh yes, ma'am.
I mean,
Yes.
God, that's
Yes.
so awesome.
Not only that, but we're talking people that have been on reality shows, as in like Rose Siggins. She was on American Horror Story. We have Johnny Eck. We have the person who was on the Jerry Springer Show. And then, as well as, I'm actually talking to, he's a really good friend of mine as well. His name is Rowdy Burton. He does a lot of videos too. So it's nice to have an understanding and to see a lot more people living their life with having a disability. And I think it's amazing.
Because RuPaul really is nice in real life as he is portrayed.
Oh, he's an angel. He's a sweetheart. He's the
Is
most
he?
humblest man ever. When you meet him, he looks intimidating. Honestly, yes, he does. But the minute that you get this aura and this vibe when you're with him, it's just like you can do anything, be whoever you want, and just be comfortable with him because his vibe is so amazing and just so real and genuine.
Oh,
That's
I love
awesome.
that. I love hearing that. Like, 'cause, you know, they say don't meet your heroes,
Yeah.
but I love hearing that.
That's what I was hoping you would say instead of something else. So now you're married also, correct?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
Yes, correct. 6 years.
6 years? How did you guys
Yes.
meet?
Well, see, the thing about it is when I was getting my name changed, we're not really married, but we just at heart we are. So, but in the future when we get able to do that, you know, that'll be nice. But we've been together now for 6 years.
Oh, that's so nice.
How did you guys meet?
Basically how we met, I just got recently, before we met, I got out of a relationship, which was very toxic. And then during that relationship, I would hear about Andrew, and I didn't know who Andrew was. I didn't know who he was, but there was my two other friends' friend. So then when I went back home, my friend that was living with me at the house, he was like, oh, I'm going to invite my brother over. I'm like, who is it? He's like, Andrew, you know, the guy I was talking to you about. I'm like, okay. So I'm fresh out of a relationship. So, you know, I'm having another guy comes to the house. So I'm thinking like, okay, let's see what's up, right? So anyway, he shows up. And then, you know, I had to ask when my father was living when my father was living at the time, I would always have to ask him, you know, if I could have friends over or whatever. So my roommate wanted me to go talk to my dad to see if Andrew can come inside the house. And so I basically argued with him for about 2 hours just to have him over because when I first met him, I thought he was so handsome. And he still is.
Yeah.
But I just, you know, I had to argue with my dad for 2 hours for him just to come inside the house. But yeah, it's a father figure. But yeah, and then when I first met him, it was wonderful. I thought he was so cute.
Well, that makes me so you really just met through a mutual friend. That's so great though, because I like when that works out. So you do your videos on YouTube, and you obviously travel around. Does Andrew do that with you, or does Andrew what do you guys do?
Well, when I first started doing videos, it was just myself, and then he sort of kind of stays away from the video My Little World, even though because it is my world, he's just an ordinary guy that's just dealing with a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
I guess if we can put it like that.
So since Andrew has MS, does that kind of make you guys a little bit closer because of the disabilities? Because I feel like I'm like that with other people that have different disabilities. They kind of understand better, I think. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah.
Like, does it bring us closer?
Yeah, it brings us closer, but we also have our ups and downs because sometimes I get into my feelings where I feel like I'm worthless and can't do nothing, and then we start arguing. Yeah, because I can, you know, she's helping me cope with it, and she's helping me figure out what it is. So yeah, it brings us close together, I can say.
There's a lot of things that he can't do, and even though because of my disability, it limits my size, so I'm a short lady. So if he can't reach like on the level, like lower levels of things, that's where I come in hand. Or it's just we work with our disabilities the best way possible.
I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I think that's awesome because I mean it has to be, you know, and it has to be difficult finding that person that's going to be okay with helping when you need it sometimes, you know, because people they like to make the
Yes.
easy way, you know. I guess,
No.
if that makes sense. I'm bad about being able to take help.
I mean, no. You're actually correct. There's a lot of people that, they take a lot of relationships for granted, where they're too judgy with things. But it all comes down to communication and understanding one's limit and boundaries. But with communication, it helps everything. And that's what we do with one another. Disability or not, we have to communicate in order to understand each other's emotions, what we go through on a daily basis. Because I could be having a bad day and I don't know what's going on with him, and then he could be having a bad day and I don't know what's going on with him. But if you don't communicate, no one's going to know anything. You're just going to have problems.
Right.
Absolutely. I've got to ask, do you lift, or is it all just from being able to, I mean, how do you carry yourself around like that? I'm just like, wow, you have to be super strong.
Or are you just jacked? Yeah.
Honestly, now that I'm getting older, because I'm 27 now, and it is difficult. Let me tell you, when you have to walk on your hands and carry your body weight for so long, for so many years, your arms and your elbows and your shoulders, they need a break sometimes.
Okay.
So I take you over here. I sort of usually take a break every now and then, because when I was younger, I used to run all over the place, climb the monkey bars, do whatever I can, because I have the strength to do that. And now that I'm getting older, I still could do that, but I sort of have it's a little bit more harder.
Oh yeah. No, I'm sure. I mean, well, honestly, because even
But I do it though.
Yeah. No, because it's kind of like I don't like to run around anymore now. Like I'm 20. I don't. I think you just get old. You know.
But I have a feeling you're a lot like me. Because of your disability, you're like, well, I'm going to do that. You can't tell me I can't, and I'm going to. I'm going to go climb on those monkey bars. I don't need help. And I have a feeling you're like that. Tell me I can't do something, and I'll do it.
Yeah. And it's funny because my independence gets the best of me because he always wants to help me. I'm like, no, I got it. And then sometimes he'll see me struggling. He's like, come on, just let me do it for you. I'm like, no. And I get sassy with him. And I'm just like, ease off me a little bit. And then he's like, no, I got it. And then it just gets the best of me sometimes because I'm so independent with doing everything myself. I need to learn how to let people kind of help me out a little bit, especially my loved ones.
You're out in California, right? What part of California are you guys in?
Sacramento.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was out there.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Yeah, I was out there. Have you ever seen Baskets on FX? With Louis Anderson? I was out there and I got to shoot an episode, so I was just out in California.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh,
No.
nice.
You guys are out there in that heat, and the MS isn't good for, the heat's not good for MS. I know that all too well. So I don't want to keep you guys too long out there.
Yeah, but it's okay though, because this is very important for her. So I just got to deal with what I got to deal with. Just for she can do what she gets to do with her life and talk to you guys. So it's okay.
You're a good man. You're a good man. You got you a good one there. That's
what
great.
a trooper, huh?
I have to ask you a question. I did read where somebody asked you about your sex life, and so you released a sex tape. Is that true?
No.
Okay.
No. What? Okay, let me lay the lowdown on that because, to be honest, this will be my breakthrough once you guys air this because this should have to be this should really be out there because when we did that out of our own privacy, we had an idea of just putting it online to do something different, okay? But I deleted it out of a day of uploading it because I felt insecure and I didn't want to upload that. So the video went viral in just an amount of hours.
I'm sure.
Somebody either took that clip because it was so different and raunchy as what it is, because that's what we put out there. They re-uploaded it and used my blogs as in to mock me knowing that I didn't upload this. They sliced it up and made it look like I uploaded it myself, which I did not.
So they used your logo or something?
They made it look like it was her blog that she put it up there, right?
No, what they did was they used my vlogs of when I did a question and answer video back in 2017. They clipped that video and made it look like one of the questions was exactly what you guys asked me. How is your sex life? And so they added that clip of the pornography to that vlog. And I'm just like, oh my God, now it's making it look like I actually uploaded it. When, excuse me, previously I did, but I deleted it because it was a stupid idea. The person re-uploaded it and made it look like I re-uploaded it. It went viral. Let me tell you, I was on Media Takeout. I was on, it went viral.
Oh my God.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because I'm like, I'm the type of person, you do something, you ask me something, and I'm like, I'll show you, but I'm like,
it got exfoliated. Excuse me, is that the word? Is that the word I'm trying to use? Exfoliated? Yeah, through exquisite.com, and it's a vlogger that uploaded that video, made the headline so good that Piyah Martell, which recently on RuPaul's Drag Race, now has finally released a sex video. And I'm just like, what? Oh my God. And that was actually released on February 2000 and something. I don't remember, but it was crazy because that really sort of made my career a little bad at the time. But then it didn't, because a lot of good things happened as well, because I did want people to see that you having a disability isn't going to change anything. As long as you have two people that are comfortable with one another, then that's it. That's one of the original ideas why we were posting the video, to get that expelled to people that are different, that had disability, to see what my sex life was about.
And the thought of why you did it makes total sense to me. But when I read that you did it because they asked you about it, I was like, that doesn't sound quite right. I'm glad you cleared that up. Thank you. Being able to be independent, but be able to ask for help and accept help is one of the biggest things I've had the hurdle of, and I can only imagine, because you are so independent. I mean, I've seen your videos, and you just scoot, and you get on that skateboard, and you just get around. You don't need anybody. You're like, I don't need help. I'm good. And that's an inspiration. I'll tell you that. You're very inspirational.
Right.
And I love it. Now, the last question I want to ask.
I appreciate it. I'm just living my life just like everyone else would, and just living it a little bit more extra.
Yeah.
As I would say.
I like extras. That's what I like. But last question I want to ask you. When people look at you now, in your life, no. In your life, do you think people, because you have a couple of things, you've got being trans and being disabled, which one do you think has been harder for people to deal with, to overcome with you, or for you to overcome, I guess?
I mean, to be honest, both of them are difficult only if you make it difficult. Mm-hmm. It took me a long time to fully love myself. And not only for me having a disability, but for me as well as being transgender. And when you have those two, you have to love yourself even more. And I just do it naturally with just focusing on the good instead of the bad. Because I could be moaning and groaning about everything that's so wrong in my life. And I'd rather not. I'd rather simply be pure and bliss, and rather just be happy with what I have right now as a human being. I will definitely be doing a foundation for people with disabilities that have the same birth defect, because that is an amazing thing. And so many people have had foundations. I don't even know how to even start with that one. I'm trying to figure out, everything for myself first.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, we will definitely give you and your YouTube and everything a shout out on ours, and we could just put it on our webpage and everything, and maybe get you some more followers, and you can inspire some more people. She's so pretty.
I know.
You just look at that head tilt, and I'm like, oh, she's just gorgeous.
Oh, I wish the quality was better. Oh my God, I wish the quality was better. I cannot hear.
I'm sorry, I just said that you're beautiful, and you did that head tilt, and I'm just like, she's gorgeous.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So are you guys, okay?
Oh, shucks.
I'm not going to see it. You guys are probably in air conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're going to let you go. We're not going to keep you any longer. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you again.
Both of you. Andrew, thank you for getting her around for us and getting her to be able to talk to us. We appreciate you.
No, you're welcome. No problem.
Thank you guys so much.
Stay in this area, Brazil. Thank you so much.
We
Bye.
appreciate you. Bye. If you guys want to be on our show, you can contact us at www.laughs.life.
Or you can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, or YouTube.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I killed
You
that.
got them
I killed
all.
that.
I'm
I
impressed.
I know. Anyway, thank you, and please join us again next week.
This has been Gays of Our Lives. Make sure to check out the Gays online at www.laughs.life.